everyone, myself Jamin Patel from the LJ Institute of Pharmacy. Now in our today's session, we will continue with our subject that is the pharmaceutical biotechnology. In that important chapter that is the immunity. So in our previous lecture, we discussed about the type of immunity and type of immune system. Immune system is mainly divided into the two types, that is the innate immune system and adaptive immune system. Innate immune system in which main four barrier is there, okay, that all the barrier that we already discussed in our previous lecture. Now in our today's session we will continue with the adaptive immune system. So students, in the adaptive immune system, initially characteristic of the adaptive immune system that we already discussed in our last sessions. Now in adaptive immune system, main two types is there, that is the humoral immunity and cellular immunity. Before understanding this humoral immunity and cellular immunity, we will understand some terminology. Okay, so here, if we talk about the terminology, so main antigens, epitopes, heptens, superantigens, cluster of differentiation molecule, and antibody is there. Now, first terminology, that is the antigen. Now, what is the antigen? So, antigens means the any substance, any proteinous or polysaccharide based substance is capable to elicit the immune response and is capable to bind with the antigens and produce the immunity. That is called as antigen. Okay, actually two terms that we routinely used as a synonyms. One is the antigen and second one is the immunogen. Okay, actually we use this both the terms as a synonym, but minor difference is there. Antigens means the substance is capable to activate immune response and capable to bind with the antibody. An immunogen means is capable to activate the immune response only. Okay, here binding is not involved, otherwise binding is not required when we use the term immunogens. Okay, so that is the minor difference is there between these two terms, that is the antigens and immunogens. Now second terms, that is the epitopes. What is the epitopes? So epitopes is a site present on the surface of the antigens where the antibody is going to bind. Epitopes is the site present on the surface of antigens where the antibody is going to bind. So actually ideally when antibody is going to bind, produced in response to the microorganism, this antibody is not going to bind to all the surface of the microorganism. It will bind to the specific site. It will bind to the specific functional group, and that specific functional group, that specific site is called as an epitope. Okay, suppose if the antigens contain only one binding site, then this type of antigen should be called as a monovalent antigen. This type of antigen should be called as a monovalent antigen. And if the antigens contain the more than one binding sites, more than one epitope is there, okay, more than one epitope is there where the antibody can bind, so this type of antigens should be called as a multivalent antigens. So on the basis of the number of epitopes, we can classify the antigens on two types, monovalent antigens and multivalent antigens. Next terminology, that is the heptens. Okay, I think so you are not familiar with these terms. Heptens. Heptens means what? Heptens is a very small antigen. It's a very small antigen. Itself is not act as antigen. But when this antigen bind with any carrier protein and make the complex, this complex is act as antigen. This complex is activate the immune response. The best example of the heptens is nothing but the penicillin. Okay, yes, penicillin is the drug and it is act as aptan. Okay, we know that some of the individual is sensitive to the penicillin and some of the individual is not sensitive to the penicillin. Okay, in some specific individual when we inject the penicillin, okay, redness is created, sensitivity reaction is produced. Now, why? It is specific to the specific individual only, because this penicillin is act as aptan. When the penicillin enter inside the body, is enter into the blood circulation, if that carrier protein specific to that penicillin is present in that individual, then this penicillin will bind with this carrier protein, it will make the complex, and this complex will be act as antigen and it will activate our immune response and sensitivity reaction is produced. If this carrier protein is not present in the individual, ultimately that individual is resistant to that penicillin. The sensitivity reaction is not produced in that individual. So heptane, penicillin is nothing but the one type of heptane. Okay, now next term, that is a super antigen. Yes, name itself indicate super. Okay, it is a powerful antigen. Means this super antigens is capable to produce the drastic immune response. Quick and drastic immune response produced by the super antigen. Okay, it can be explained with the help of the epitopes. If the many epitopes is present on the surface of antigen, so multivalent antigen is such. These multivalent antigens can produce the drastic immune response. So it can be act as a super antigen. Understand? Now, next most important terms, that is the cluster of differentiation molecule. Now, what is the? It is in short form. It is also called as a CDs. Now, what is the meaning of cluster of differentiation molecule? So, actually, it is the surface cell protein. Yes, surface cell protein. It is present on the surface of cell, and this cell protein is also known as a surface cell receptor. It is a specific receptor, and this CD is responsible to initiate the immune response. Okay, it is involved in activations of the adaptive immune system. It is helpful in different steps. Okay, different type of these receptors is present on different type of cells. Okay, CD2 is there, CD4 is there, CD8 is there, CD28 is there, CD30 is there, CD80 is there, CD95 is there. Okay, different type of receptor is present on the surface of cell. Now, most important CD, okay, that we need to understand, that is CD4 and CD8. CD4 is the receptor that is present on the surface of helper T cell. Okay, type of T cell that we will discuss later on. Okay, main three type of T cell is the helper T cell, cytotoxic T cell, and suppressive T cell. Okay, so on the surface of the helper T cell, this CD4 receptor is present. So that's why sometimes this helper T cell is also called as a CD4 T cell. CD4 T cell means it is nothing but the helper T cell. Second one is the CD8. This CD8 receptor is present on the surface of cytotoxic T cell. So again same, cytotoxic T cell is also called as a CD8 T cell. And this CD, cluster of differentiation molecule, is bind to the specific receptor and is responsible to produce the specific signals and activate our immune response. Okay, how this CD receptor involved in the activations of the immune response, that we will discuss in humoral immunity and cellular immunity. And now the last terms, that is the antibody. I think so we are familiar with these terms, antibody. Now, what is the antibody? What is the antibody? So here, antibody is nothing but the one type of glycoprotein that is present in blood circulation. It is present in the blood circulations. Okay, we know that the blood contains the plasma protein. Okay, in plasma protein, main plasma proteins are albumin, lipoprotein, alpha acid glycoprotein, globulin. In globulin, main three types is that alpha globulin, beta globulin, and gamma globulin. This gamma globulin is nothing but the antibody. This gamma globulin is antibody. Okay, we can separate this antibody by gel electrophoresis process. Now we will understand the structures of antibody. Okay, so if we talk about the structures of antibody, okay, it is the most important questions. Okay, it is mainly, okay, it is routinely asked in the exam, structures of antibody. So here you can see this structure. So antibody is mainly made up of the two type of chain. Okay, this one is the long chain. Okay, this long chain is called as a heavy chain. So it is made up of two heavy chain. It is made up of two heavy chain and two light chain. Two heavy chain and two light chain. This heavy chain is made up of 440 amino acid. This heavy chain is made up of 440 amino acid, and this light chain is made up of 220 amino acid, is made up of 220. This light chain is made up of 220 amino acid. Okay, so here 220 amino acid provide the 25 kilodalton molecular weight. So 25 kilodaltons, 25 kilodaltons, 50 and 50. So total 50, 50, 100 and 25, 25, 50 means total is 150. So the molecular weight of one simple antibody is 150 kilodaltons. The human antibody contains 150 kilodaltons molecular weight. Okay, human antibody is called as a bivalent antibody. Human antibody is generally bivalent antibody. Why it is called as a sorry, why it is called as a bivalent antibody? Because two site is there where the antigens can bind. Two site is there, sorry, two site is there where the epitope of antigen is going to bind. Okay, so that's why it is called as a bivalent antibody. Okay, so antibody is mainly made up of the two chain, that is the light chain and heavy chain. Light chain possesses the 220 antibody or 220 amino acid only. Heavy chain contains the 440 amino acid. Now it is also divided into the two types on the basis of the variability. On the basis of the variability, this light chain is also divided into the two types, and this heavy chain is also divided into the two types. Okay, this heavy chain is divided into two types. This initially, okay, the front part, okay, initial terminal part of this heavy chain is called as a variable regions, is called as a variable regions. Okay, in case of the light chain also, whatever the terminal part is there is also known as a variable region. Okay, the same things on this side also variable region. These are nothing but the variable region. And this bottom part of this heavy chain and this bottom part of this light chain is called as a constant region. Is called as a constant region. Now why it is called as a variable region and why it is called as a constant region? So these variable regions in which the amino acid sequence is varied according to the structure of epitopes. When any antigens that enter inside the body, our immune system is activated in response to that antigens. Okay, it will detect the epitopes of that antigens, it will identify the structure of these epitopes, and according to that structure it will generate the suitable pockets in which that structure, in which these epitopes can completely fixed. So that pocket, suitable site, suitable pockets is generated by varying the amino acid sequence. So this initial part of this heavy chain and initial part of this light chain, okay, it is nothing but the variable region. It will arrange the amino acid in such a sequence that it will make the suitable pockets in which the epitopes is completely fixed. So this amino acid sequence is varies from antibody to antibody, is changed from antibody to antibody. If the crores of antibody, if crores of different antibodies produced by our immune system for different microorganisms, so each antibody shows the different region, different variable regions. Okay, so it is different from this portion. The crores of different antibodies varies from this region. This bottom part is fixed. Okay, this bottom part is fixed. If we talk about the light chain, so light chain bottom part, okay, it is fixed. Main two types is there. Okay, in light chain bottom part, okay, it may be kappa form, otherwise it may be lambda form. The constant regions of the light chain, only two varieties is there. Constant regions of the light chain, only two varieties is there. One is the kappa and second one is the lambda. Light chain constant regions may be available in the kappa form, otherwise it may be available into the lambda form. Okay, if we talk about the constant regions of the heavy chain, so main five varieties is there. One is gamma, second one is alpha, third one is mu, fourth one is delta, and fifth one is the epsilon. Five constant region is there. Okay, only this five is there. It is not varies from antibody to antibody. Okay, this five possibility is there. Okay, it may be gamma, it may be alpha, it may be mu, it may be delta, or it may be epsilon, no other than. Okay, while in case of the variable region, it varies from antibody to antibody. If the crores of different antibody is produced, so crores of different variable region is generated. While in case of constant region, this five possibility is there. And on this basis of this five possibility, antibody is divided into the five types. On the basis of this five possibility of this heavy chain, antibody is divided into the five types. If the antibody contains the gamma constant region, then it is called as a IgG, that is G from this gamma. If contains the alpha constant region, then it is called as a IgA. If contains the mu constant region, then it is called as a IgM. If contains the D constant region, then it is called as a IgD. Contains the E constant region in case of the heavy chain, okay, then it is called as a IgE. So actually antibody is divided into the five types: IgG, IgA, IgM, IgD, IgE. So these five types on the basis of the constant regions of the heavy chain. Understand? Okay. Antibody is also divided into the two types, Fc and Fib. Okay. So this upper part, this one is the upper part of the antibody. Okay, where the antigen is going to bind. So we can say is that this upper part is antigen binding site. So on the basis of the antigen binding site, okay, the upper part is the antigen binding site. So this upper part is called as a fragment of antigen binding site. It is called as a it is called as a fragment of antigen binding site. Fragment of antigen binding site. So this upper part is called as a Fab portion. This upper part is called as a Fab portion, Fab fragment. The lower part, okay, is the site which is going to bind on the phagocyte cell. Is the site which is going to bind to the phagocyte cell. The receptor for this site, receptor for this lower part is already present on the surface of phagocyte cell. So this lower part is called as a crystallizable fragment. This lower part is called as a crystallizable fragment. Okay, so this lower part is going to bind on the surface of the phagocyte cell, and it will carry the antigens toward the phagocyte cell for the phagocytosis process. So this is the structures of the antibody. Now what is the functions of the antibody? Okay, till that our conventional thinking is that the antibody can destroy the antigens, it can destroy the microorganism, but actually antibody is not involved in the destructions of the microorganism. Antibody is just a carrier. Antibody is one type of opsonin. Okay, I think so. If you see our previous video, opsonin term. Opsonin means what? Opsonin is the protein that induces the opsonization process. Means antibody is the opsonin. Means antibody will bind with the microorganism, will bind with the antigen, and it will carry the antigens toward the phagocyte cell for the phagocytosis process. So antibody is act as a carrier, is the intermediate. It will connected with the microorganism and carry the microorganism toward the phagocyte cell for the destruction purpose. Sorry. So antibody is a carrier. Sometimes the antibody is used for the neutralization process also. It will connect with the antigens and it will neutralize the antigen for the temporary purpose. Okay, so this is the role, this is the functions of the antibody. Okay, so here antibody is completed. Now if we talk about the types of antibody, so main four types of antibody is the IgG, IgM, IgA, IgD and IgE. Okay, we will see this all the types one by one. Okay, if we talk about the first antibody, that is the IgG. So IgG is the simple bivalent antibody. Okay, IgG. Okay, if we talk about the total antibody, so among this total antibody, 80% antibody is nothing but the IgG, and IgG is the one of the antibody is responsible to activate the complement system. We will not go in depth in the complement systems. Okay, complement system is a part of physiological barrier, and this complement system is activated by the main two pathway. One is the classical pathway and second one is the alternative pathway, and this classical pathway is activated with the help of the antibody. Main two antibody is there which responsible to activate the complement system by the classical pathway, and among these two antibody, one of the antibody is nothing but the IgG. So IgG is responsible for the activations of the complement system for destructions of the antibody, for the destructions of the antigen. Okay, so IgG is the one of the antibody is responsible to activate the complement system. IgG is only antibody that can cross the placenta barrier. Is only antibody that can cross the placenta barrier, and it can pass from mother to fetus. So immunity provided to the fetus from mother body, and that immunity is provided in form of IgG, in form of IgG. Understand? Now second antibody, that is the IgM. So IgM is also called as a pentameric antibody. Is also called as a pentameric antibody. So here this one is the IgM. So actually the bivalent antibody, this one is the bivalent antibody, okay, in which the light chain heavy chain is connected with the disulfide bond. So this normal bivalent antibody, okay, is connected to each other. Okay, 5 bivalent antibody is connected to each other by divalent sulfide bond as well as by the special chain. That special chain is called as a J chain. That special chain is called as a J chain. It is nothing but the joining chain. So 5 bivalent antibody is connected to each other by this joining chain and divalent sulfide bond, and here the IgM is formed. So in IgM, if we talk about the one molecule of the IgM, so total 10 binding site is there. 5 antibodies connected and one antibody shows the 2 binding sites. So 5 antigens, 5 antibody, okay, shows the 10 binding site, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Total 10 binding site is there. So IgM can bind with the 10 epitopes of antigen. So IgM is very strong antibody. Is very strong antibody. It can elicit the immune response strongly, and IgM is the antibody that produced first upon entry of microorganism. When any microorganism that enter inside the body, our immune system is activated. In response to that microorganism, antibody is produced, and the first antibody produced, that is IgM. No doubt the quantity of IgM later on less. The highest quantity of antibody produced, that is IgG. But the first antibody produced in response to the immune response, okay, in response to the entry of microorganism, that is the IgM. And if you talk about the quantity of IgM with respect to the total antibody, so it is around the 10%. This one is the 80% and this one is the 10%. IgM is comparatively larger antibody, so that's why it cannot cross the placental barrier. Okay. Now the next antibody, that is the IgA, IgD and IgA. IgA antibody is also called as a secretory antibody. Is also known as a secretory antibody. Means is present in the secretion, is present in the tear, is present in saliva, is present in milk. Okay, so whatever the body secretion is there, in that this IgA is present. So it is present in a secretion. That's why it is also called as a secretory antibody, and it is also called as dimeric antibody. It is the dimeric antibody. Means the two bivalent antibody is connected to each other by the special chain. Again, the joining chain is there. So it is the dimer in form, dimeric antibody. Okay, so it is present in the milk. So newborn baby receive the immunity from the mothers through the milk, and this milk contains this IgA. So it will receive the immunity in form of IgA. Newborn baby receive the immunity in form of IgA. Okay. Next one, that is the IgD. So IgD is produced by the B cells. Exact mechanism of IgD is not yet completely known, but it is believed of scientists that the IgD is helpful in productions of antibody. When IgD is produced by the B cell, this IgD activate the B cell to produce the large quantity of antibody. This IgD activate the B cell for productions of the large quantity of antibody. So antibody productions is increased in the presence of the IgD. That is the role of the IgD. And last one, that is the IgE. IgE is also called as a skin sensitizing antibody. It is responsible for sensitizing reaction. Skin rashes is there. Okay, this all the sensitizing reactions, okay, is occur by the IgE. IgE, okay, whatever the Fc portion is there, crystallizable fragment is there, okay, they contain the different form C1, C2, C3, C4, and this C4, okay, the receptor for the C4 is present on the surface of mast cell. The receptor for C4, okay, the C4 Fc portion का C4, okay, the receptor for the C4 is present on the surface of mast cell. So this IgE is bind on the surface of mast cell. When the IgE is bind on the surface of mast cell, it will induce the degranulation of the mast cell. So mast cell undergo the degranulation process, histamine is going to secreted, and this histamine is responsible for the skin sensitizing reaction. This histamine is responsible for the vasodilation, is responsible for the redness of skin, is responsible for the skin sensitizing reaction. So this skin sensitizing reaction occur in response to this IgE. Okay, so these are the 5 types of the antibody. First one, that is the IgG. Second one, that is the IgM. Third one, that is the IgA. Fourth one, that is the IgD. And fifth one, that is the IgE. Okay, so these are the 5 types. Is the now the next topic, that is the T cell receptor, okay, that we will discuss in our next lecture. So we conclude our lecture here. Thank you very much. Okay, you can see this all the video on our YouTube channel, that is a Pharma Ignite. So please subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you very much.